Hi guys, so I'm going to read Amazing Spider-Man number 129. So this was published in February of 1974. So the Amazing Spider-Man. He's different. He's deadly. He's the Punisher. The most lethal, hired assassin ever. His assignment? Kill Spider-Man. And behind the most murderous plot of all times, there lurks the Jackal. Stan Lee presents The Amazing Spider-Man. Jerry Conway, scripter. Ross Andru, artist. F. Giacosia and D. Hunt, inkers. J. Costanza, letterer. Dave Hunt, colorist. Roy Thomas, editor. The Punisher strikes twice.
Magnificent! You demolished the plaster statue on your first shot. If you do as well with the real Spider-Man, my friend, you'll have performed the world a truly great service.
In a chamber hidden from all prying eyes but ours, two men prepare for the death of a certain wall-crawling hero. And the first step in a master plan of evil takes ominous form.
Don't speak too soon, Jackal. The action on this concussion rifle is still a little stiff. I'll need to have the mechanic look it over before I can go against that web-slinging menace. Certainly. But the point is, you can kill him. You think I enjoy that? Of course you do, my friend. That's why they call you the Punisher, isn't it? You like the death, the killing, the joyful revenge. I kill only those who deserve killing, Jackal. And Spider-Man deserves to die.
Never thought I'd get bored with web slinging. But right now, I'm so absolutely sick of it, I could chuck my web shooters down the first sewer I see. It's the air in this crummy burg. Down on the streets, it's bad enough. But up here in Spidey country, it's positively murder. And speaking of murder, it looks like the fair crooks of Manhattan have finally come back from summer vacation. I should get some pretty fine pics from J. Jonah Jameson's news rag out of this, which may just get him off my back about the salary he's been paying me. Of course, if he knew Spider-Man was snapping all these crime photos for him, and not Peter Parker, old Jolly Jonah would simply explode.
Boss, look! It's that Spider-Man character we heard about in Detroit. He's coming after us. What are we gonna do? Relax, Bebo. From what I hear, he's as much of a crook as we are. He probably just wants part of the take.
Buddy, have you got your wires crossed? I'm not one of the black hats. I'm just your average friendly neighborhood Spider-Man.
So we got you pegged wrong, punk. Big deal. That just means we take you out the hard way. But, punk, we still take you out.
Fat chance of that, handsome. Or hadn't you heard? I've got the proportionate strength of a spider. And some of the spiders need abilities, too. Of course, there's one trick of his I don't have naturally.
Get him! I want that punk dead!
I'm not what you call a web spinner myself. But I've got these real fancy gadgets that'll do the job nicely. Not as good as the real thing, mind you, but effective. Wouldn't you agree? And so, a few minutes later, as two of New York's finest arrive a bit belatedly, you'll think people would stop their cars when they hear a siren. No wonder we never... Huh?
Isn't this a little early for Christmas presents?
A gift from me to you, officer. Though it probably won't do my reputation one bit of good. This entire town's convinced I killed Norman Osborn, thanks to Jameson and the Daily Bugle. Even the crooks think I'm one of them. And since I don't dare come forward in my own defense, for fear of having my real identity exposed, I've just got to suffer. And do I ever suffer? How can I tell them that Osborn was the Green Goblin? That he killed Gwen Stacy, the girl I loved? In the now classic Spidey number 121, Roy. Who would believe a known public menace? And worse, do I even want to tell them? What would it do to Harry, my best pal and roommate? Osborn was his father. Bad enough his dad's dead. But if he found out the truth... Spidey doesn't know that Harry already has RT. Guess there's nothing I can do. Only thing is there ever? The heck with it. Why does Peter Parker always have to be cheerful? Anyway.
Peter, I've been looking all over for you.
Well, here I am in the flesh, Betty. Is Old Man Happiness in?
He's with Joe Robertson. But that isn't what I wanted to talk to you about, Peter. Ned Leeds and I are going to throw a party this Christmas Eve. We were hoping you could be there.
I'll check my fabulously crowded social register, Betty. But I'd say it's a safe bet I might make it.
Thanks, Peter. I know we haven't been as good friends as we once were, and I hope...
So do I, little lady. See ya. I go to beard the lion in the tiger's den. Hiya, Robbie. Hello, JJ. I got some news photos for you. Fresh from the shooting. Peter Parker. Long time no see, amigo.
Parker!
That's my name, JJ. And have I got pics for you? Spider-Man breaking up this armored car robbery.
Don't mention that costume freak in my presence, Parker. And don't give me this nonsense about robberies. I want news photos, Parker. Photos about news.
Take a look at this, Peter.
The New York Star. I didn't know you allowed your rival's paper in the building, JJ. Uh-oh. The Punisher. I heard about him.
You heard about him? That's good, Parker.
It says Punisher starts war against the mob.
That's excellent. He's only the most newsworthy thing to happen to New York since Boss Tweed. And you've heard of him. Lord, do I deserve this? Do I truly deserve this?
You want pictures of him. Is that it, JJ?
Yes, you idiot! I want pictures of him, and I want them now!
So why didn't you just say so? Here, JJ. In the meantime, fill up space with a robbery.
The developing comes out of your salary, Parker. Do you hear? Out of your salary.
A short while later, in the dingy sky over what was once the world's largest city. Easy for Jameson to say. But how do I find this Punisher guy? He's not going to be advertising himself. And... Hold it! There's something wrong. My spider sense is beginning to tingle. That means there's danger near. But what sort of danger? And where's it coming from? Can hardly stand it. Feels like my mind's on fire. What in the hay is happening to me?
1 second. 2. Now. Fire!
Holy crud! Some sort of concussion projectile. If it had hit me instead of that abandoned tenement, I'd be a mushroom cloud right now. Wait a second. On that rooftop. Across the street. A glint of silver. It's him. The Punisher. I know I wanted to find the guy, but this is a little extreme. Whoops! He's heading toward that air shaft. Probably wants to escape. Sorry, pal, but I'm afraid I can't let you run out on me. There are some questions I want you to answer. Mainly, why'd you try to kill me? Hey, you're not half bad at this acrobatic stuff, are you, fella?
I'm an expert on many things, murderer. And for your information, I wasn't trying to escape. I was merely trying to reach this. Your kind of scum has ruled this country too long, punk. And I'm out to put a stop to it. Any way I can.
Whoa, friend. We've got our signals crossed. I'm not a... Hey! Oh boy. Some sort of titanium alloy wire. Bundling me up. Like thread on a spindle. How do I get out of this mess?
It's not something I like doing. It's simply something that must be done. And I've got nothing to lose by risking what's left of my life, wiping out your kind of parasite. You're all alike, using whatever means to get control of the public. Drugs, gambling, loan sharking, operations. Some of it legitimate, but all of it evil. Sometimes I wonder if that evil's rubbed off on me. But I know that doesn't matter. All that matters is the job. Like I said, I don't enjoy it, but...
I did it! I broke free!
What? That wire was strong enough to hold 10 men! You can't...
I got a secret to tell you, pal. I'm not 10 men. I'm your friendly neighborhood... forget it.
No, the Punisher underestimated Spider-Man's strength. My entire plan's coming apart. I have to do something. If the Punisher is captured, he might tell Spider-Man about me. And the time is not yet ripe for the world to learn about the Jackal.
Like his namesake, the wiry man in the dark green costume waits till his foe's back is turned, and then he strikes.
Ha! The Jackal's claws dig deep, wall crawler, and my negatively charged electroprods can also prove quite stimulating. You'll not soon forget this day.
Blinded with pain, Spidey stumbles away from the treacherous Jackal as...
He's headed toward the edge. I won't have him die this way, Jackal. It isn't just.
Just? Who's concerned with justice, you fool? Just so long as the costume buffoon is dead.
Fortunately for Spidey, the Jackal has forgotten our hero's superhuman ability to block out pain, and...
Somehow managed to catch that ledge. Now, if I can only stop my momentum before... I was afraid of that. Sorry, ladies. Accidents will happen, you know.
By the time our heroes extricated himself from the maw of female hysteria and has returned to the roof where he'd been fighting the Punisher, I didn't think they'd still be here, but I was hoping there'd be some clue. Whoa, maybe there is. I might have hit the jackpot after all. It says Reese Armorers to the trade. But before he can follow up on the maker of the strange spear gun, there's one small problem our wall-crawling friend must attend to first.
My head feels like he singed it with a hot torch. Say, that reminds me. Johnny Storm said he'd have the Spider-Mobile ready today. And he says, see issues 126, 127, and 128. Runabout Roy. I can use the extra cash Corona Motors promised on delivery. Especially since I still haven't seen Harry to collect his share of the past 3 months' rent. The last time I spoke to him, he didn't seem in the mood to talk about money.
Spidey number 127, RT.
Man, I am a case. Here I'm getting a couple of $1,000 to build a car for a new non-polluting engine. Because Spider-Man is a big name. And I've still got to do my own sewing. Ouch! Next thing you know, I'll give myself hepatitis from a rusty sewing needle. Ugh! Got my thumb. Pain. He's still in there, waiting for me. Because he knows I'm the Green Goblin. I thought he was my friend. But I realize now, no one is Harry Osborn's friend. I'm all alone. Alone. With my inevitable destiny.
We'll worry some more about Harry's sanity next issue. Right now, let's look in on yet another member of our cast. One of Peter's feminine friends.
Mary Jane Watson, have you seen Peter Parker today?
Oh, wow, Professor Warren. Petey told me about what happened when he tried to talk to him the other day.
So it's Spidey number 127, RT.
You know, when all that crazy stuff with the Vulture is going on...
It's precisely that which I wish to see him about, Miss Watson. I'm afraid I misunderstood that he was seeking help for you at the time. Under the circumstances, I naturally want to offer him my apologies.
Far out. When I see him, I'll give him the message, Professor. Keep together, hear? But do I even want to see Petey again? Do I want to get that heavy and involved in somebody's life? I mean, the things he's been through, with Gwen dying, he's not exactly Mr. Fun these days. And if there's one thing Mary Jane's committed to in this great, big, woolly old world, it's loads and loads of fun.
I told you. I didn't want to do it that way.
My apologies. I had no idea he meant that much to you.
When I agreed to work with you, Jackal, it was with the understanding we were fighting for the same thing. The complete destruction of the crime world in New York. I did not intend to become a common murderer by allowing a man to follow his death.
But he was a criminal, don't you see? The police couldn't touch him. That's why you had to kill him for murdering Norman Osborn. How does it matter how he died?
It matters, friend. If I'm ever to live with myself, I have to know I'm doing the right thing. And letting a man die by accident doesn't qualify.
Pitiful fool. I've had enough of your soul-searching. Your usefulness to me is over. Finished. The Jackal must turn to other, more profitable things. Now that Spider-Man is dead. What are you doing now?
What does it look like? I'm going to see the mechanic. I want to replace that wire gun your cowardice made me lose last night.
Well, do take care of yourself, Punisher. We make such a good team, you know.
That's something I'm beginning to seriously question, Jackal. Very seriously indeed.
Okay, now it starts. What we in the business call the climactic confrontation. Dig it, Frantic One.
That's the place. Reese Armorers. Just as it said on that spear gun. Let's see what Mr. Reese had to say about a certain customer of his. The Punisher.
It isn't possible. We left him for dead.
Come on, gang. See if you can guess who this is.
I don't know how he survived, and I don't care. The very fact that he's alive turns my stomach. This time I'll make certain he's finished. Personally.
Hey, anybody home? Mr. Reese? Look.
Look, I don't mean anyone any harm. I just want to talk with you. Mr. Reese?
Just then, the web slinger's foot touches something soft and yet unyielding. He looks down and...
Oh boy. Somebody didn't like you very much, Mr. Reese. The way they slashed you up. Like some sort of cat. Now what? Oh no. It's you again. Won't you ever quit? Ow!
Not while you're still alive, punk. Not while I'm called the Punisher.
You know, for a guy without a fancy costume, you've got the tricks of the trade down pat.
I spent 3 years in the Marines, Spider-Man. I didn't. What? Reese? You killed him too.
Somehow I knew you'd say that. Can't we talk this over like civilized people? Or do we have to keep this up till one of us is killed?
I don't make deals with murderers, Spider-Man. Especially a man who killed my friend.
You're jumping to conclusions, buddy. Take a look at your pal's neck. Don't those marks look in the least bit familiar?
I've heard that kind of line before, masked man. From the men who kill their own mothers for the price of a fix. And I don't buy your games. No way, my friend.
That's too bad, Punisher. It doesn't leave me much choice. Because if it's a toss-up between you and me, the man I'm rooting for to win is me.
A few minutes later, when the black-clad vigilante called the Punisher has revived...
Forgive me for being so rough, friend, but I was pretty sure I wouldn't beat you by using kid gloves. Now will you look a little more closely at Reese's body?
Do I have a choice?
Not much.
Lord in heaven, those marks, like claw marks of some kind.
I know precisely what kind. And so do you. I got a handful of them across the back of my head from that pal of yours.
The Jackal. He did this. But why?
One question first. Did you leave the armorer's plate on that crazy rifle of yours? Or was it off?
Do you think I'm crazy?
Then that wasn't the gun you dropped. This Jackal friend of yours took it and replaced it with one that still had the plate.
Again, why?
To incriminate you, of course. He knew you had to come back here tonight, so he planted evidence the cops would have found if I hadn't. Then to tie it up neatly, he killed the old man so you'd be found with him.
He was gone for a while this evening, an hour ago. But what's the purpose?
To get rid of you after you've gotten rid of me. In case you haven't already guessed, fella, I'm not a murderer. I'm one of the good guys, I think.
Then he used me like a pawn. He'll pay for that. He'll pay!
Say, friend, what's this whole kick you're on? You said you were a Marine. So how come you're fighting over here?
That's my business, superhero. Not yours. Maybe when I'm dead it'll mean something. But right now, I'm just a warrior. Fighting a lonely war.
Something tells me that man's got problems that make mine look like a birthday party. Uh-oh. Police sirens. 5 will get you 10. They were tipped off. And naturally, since I'm the only one visible, they'll lay the whole blame on Spider-Man! What did I tell you? This just isn't my week.
Well, well. It appears you've escaped this time, Web-Slinger. But I promise you, you won't be so fortunate again. If I'm to take over the city, I must first destroy you. And I will. This the Jackal swears.
You'll learn more of the mysterious Jackal's plans next issue, also featuring Hammerhead.
So hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you could like, comment, and subscribe, that'd be appreciated. If you have any requests you want me to do, just let me know in the comments, and I'll tell you when I can do the request. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys later.